vlog on the new series. I'm going to be covering stuff until Adepticon. So last minute, Adepticon happened. Had really good feedback at CincyCon, and I was considering it before that. It just, I didn't feel like I would have enough prepared in terms of like, yeah, Adepticon's kind of one of those bigger cons that I really wanted to have everything lined up just a certain sort of way. But like I said, I got a lot of really good feedback at CincyCon that I should try to squeeze it in. So I reached out, and people were able to make some things happen. So I'll be there for 3 of the 5 days. That's more just because of my family life schedule. So it's looking like Thursday, Friday, and Saturday of next week. I will be there demoing, trying to build the community, giveaway stuff, meeting some folks, things like that. So between now and then, I'll be doing another one of these vlog series. I'll run it for the next week and just kind of have the daily updates. So yeah, that's kind of the big one. Kickstarter is being worked on in the background. Haven't been great about posting the last couple weeks. It's not because there's not a lot going on. It's just that I've been busy, so haven't put as much time for doing the vlogs and doing stuff for the Instagram and Facebook and stuff like that. So I'll be getting better about that, at least for the next week until Adepticon. But yeah, the Kickstarter's getting worked on. Things are getting sorted and planned. It's going to be really good. Have some great creators coming in and helping me out with this, so that I can provide as much value as possible to the current fans and the people that are going to be introduced to it through any kind of advertising and pre-launch campaign type stuff. The playtest rules, like version 1.0, is available to the Discord members now. I'm gonna have to go back and double check my roadmap for the year, but that sounds like it's about right for end of March. So make sure I get everything checked off on the checklist there. But so far so good. I have somebody that's gonna kind of get involved and work with that and improve it, so that by the time we get to the Kickstarter and showing it off at Origins in June, all 5 factions will have playable forces, and the tactics cards will be done, and the rule book will be in a much better shape than it is now. That's just not really my thing. I did the best I can with it, so I think it looks pretty good, and as it stands, it's enough to get people into it. I definitely want to do some stuff like pictures and do a lot more examples and a lot more explaining, but then also have like a shortened version of it or a couple pages of it that are kind of synopsis, like quick reference, quick rules, quick play stuff. So there's that. I did some painting, getting stuff ready for next month's release. That preview will be coming up soon. I've got Ramiro pretty well painted up. I'm pretty happy with him. Definitely like this model a lot. He's kind of one of my favorites from that faction. I like the whole faction, but he's definitely one of my favorites. So that'll be preview coming soon, and that next month release for April will be Mac and Isla and Ramiro. So they're all characters. The Tech Shaman is kind of like not a character, but she's also on the expensive side for a unit. the Commandos. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that for their release. I'm going to say by June. I'll figure something out, so they'll either be a July release, or I might squeeze them into the Kickstarter somehow to make it happen. Just so you can really play a pretty well balanced list with them. But then it's one of those things where it's pretty much everything that they have for the year one. So, we'll see. It's kind of one of those things. This is my first foray into designing, concepting, playtesting, painting, uh, all the things except sculpting and some of the art assets, like this back here. It's just me, and with the help I can. So definitely know that for year two I can do some things better. That being said, one of the things for the Kickstarter that I've made my mind up about is that I'm gonna have a tier that kind of gives people more of like a agency involvement with the company, with the decisions. Nothing like they're it's not like shares or anything like that. It's nothing like that because Kickstarter doesn't allow that, and I'm not interested in doing that. But just kind of like being able to cast their opinion and votes on certain things. So I was really stuck. I'm still stuck on how I want year two to wrap up. So I know I want the UAS, United American States, Ancilia Industries, and the Lizard People, which I think I've come up with Talsari, and since it's kind of one of these megacorps like Ancilia, I think it's going to be in Talsari Incorporated, just because I think that's kind of a fun play on the faction, like they're incorporating with the lizards. There's like this weird symbiotic, like brain manipulation thing that's going on, and yeah, I like it. So, I think it'll be a combination of two factions or no fourth faction for year two, and instead all the factions, including the year one factions, get a little bit more stuff. And I think that's a really good option too. So we'll see. But I think those are going to be the three options that people kind of are able to decide on, vote on. I was going to kind of hand it off to my Discord group, but it's still a relatively small Discord. I think we're only about 20 something, 30 members, like right just shy of 30 members. So I think I'm going to wait for that until after the Kickstarter, and that'll be one of those first big things that people kind of help decide. Being that it's a smaller indie project and I can kind of adjust and pivot and move like pretty quick, even though there's a decent amount of planning months ahead. I think that's kind of a fun thing for folks. So all the factions from year one are going to still get support. There'll be new characters or new units, things like that getting released. Getting into the tactics cards, I might put it up somewhere in here. If not, I have like a really rough layout. I ran into a site that like a game designing channel that I was watching pointed out or directed me. It's called Dexterous, kind of like like ambidextrous or dexterity, dexterous, like, and it's kind of like a really just quick plug and play, super fast prototyping. It kind of reminds me of, and I've used, man, I can't remember the name of the project now, but it's like one of the game crafters or game creating for prototyping for like board games and stuff like that. Companies that I've used their portal for something like this before. This one's really intuitive. So I'm throwing together some art. I need to get on that on my end and figure out because I think all the tactics cards I'm gonna keep like black and white, with kind of like cool borders, almost like the old Hammer codexes would have, like, stuff coming up and around. So for like the Iterax, it'd be like gross biomass stuff, eyes and tentacles and weird hands and stuff. And like for Forsaken Tribes, it would be feathers and junk stuff and tires and pipes and whatever have you. Breachers, just uh, different things for them. A friend of mine, when I was talking to him about this, bouncing it off, and he's like, you could do like some cool scaffolding and kind of have some like NASA punk looking stuff. So I want to play around with some of those, and then have just like a very generic, maybe like double border for the more universal and generic cards that everybody gets access to. And so yeah, we'll see. Um, but tactics cards are something that's gonna get ironed out. I'm gonna shoot for after Adepticon, get some of the feedback from uh, playtesting and wargamers, and then from people that I've already had involved with some playtesting to kind of do like the next versions, probably like version 1.1, what have you, of the playtesting version of the rules. Um, so then about a month, 3 weeks, tactics cards will be out, and the game will be playable as a full. This is everything. Um, and I'm still going to try to incentivize or like encourage people to play with just the core stuff and the very close quarters Vase and Iraqs, just because I really want to make sure the core engine of the game feels good. I really like it, but there's a few things that I'm still kind of hung up on that I'm not sure if this is the way it's going to be, the kind of locked down, or if I want to. And it's mostly just the terrain. Um, so for movement and interacting with the terrain and how models do that, cover, like those are kind of the things that I'm a little bit um, still in limbo with. But overall, really happy with the rules, really happy with the pace of play. Um, Another cool thing about playtesting, there's somebody, I'm sure you'll see the video next week, or you'll see something on social media, and if not, for sure the week following, when I start doing like Adepticon reactions and Adepticon day this, day that. Um, but there's a guy in the hobby space that I have a lot of respect for, a content creator, much larger than um, anything I'm doing. Just a really cool guy. I've met him before at an event, and I kind of reached out to him today. It's like, hey, I've been working on a game. You want to check it out? And he's like, yeah, sure, I'll check it out. Um, kind of look it over and all that. And I said, like, well, I know you'll be at Adepticon because I know he's running an event, an OPR event, one page rules. Um, so like, hey, we kind of meet up and you can test it there, play it, hang out, whatever. And so I'm excited about that. And the last big thing that's really happened since SenseiCon, I may have mentioned it in one of the last videos, but tomorrow will probably be the first official post with the painter that's going to be doing some work for me. Um, Basically, going to be the closest thing that Grimdark Ohio has as a studio painter, and his Instagram handle is Rocket Surgery. I will be sharing that and kind of making a big post about that tomorrow as he like shows off kind of a work in progress he's doing on the models. Um, the local guy, really good painter. I noticed him and his player group playing a lot of Kingdom Death and doing a lot of posting. He was interacting and following, and seemed to like what I was doing, what I had going on. So I was hoping to see him at CincyCon, did not. So I reached out after CincyCon. It's like, hey, I missed you, or whatever. And so we got to talking, and yeah, so that's somebody that's going to be doing some play testing and, more importantly, painting. Because one of the mistakes I made at SensiCon was that I did not have a painted version of everything I had available in the case. Um, so that being said, Adepticon, I'm going to be giving models away for like demoing the game. If I see people that I recognize that are, influencers, guys that do a lot of YouTube stuff or work for companies that I recognize in the industry, they'll probably be getting goodies, but I'm not going to be set up as a booth selling. I will be there in a demoing, playtesting, community building capacity. So more to come with that. But yeah, I think that's all the news recently. There's a lot going on. Can't go super into details with everything. I want to make sure it like has its time, has its room to breathe, is presented right. But really excited. Things have kind of been really positive, um, on that end. So yeah, expect more of these videos in the next coming days. We're doing some updates, probably sharing some things about you know the game. I might go over. I think maybe it would be kind of a fun thing to go over the rule book and just post like the page in here somewhere on this side, whichever, and walk through some of the stuff now that it's a lot more tidied up and a lot cleaner, and that'll get redone again and again until the final version's out there. And who knows, maybe I'll get a publisher that's interested in what I'm doing and helps me make that rulebook look that much better. So yeah, till tomorrow.